A top branding guru has unleashed a brutal takedown of Meghan Markle, declaring, "I love shitting on people who suck." And guys, that's not even the best thing he said. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because a top branding guru has unleashed a brutal takedown of Megxie, declaring, quote, "I love shitting on people who suck." And if you think that's the best thing he said in this whole tirade, guys, you got another thing coming. You're in for a fun video here. Now, this is being reported by the Daily Mail. They're claiming it as an exclusive. Dudes, this was on a YouTube video that was then being shared on Twitter before Daily Mail even reported on this. So again, this is not a Daily Mail exclusive. Anywho, they're saying here, the headline, Meghan Markle is a fraud who is milking her fame from Prince Harry to sucker people into buying her products, leading US brand experts claim. Yeah, you know when I said that this top branding guru saying, "I love shitting on people who suck," wasn't the best thing that he said during this tirade? There you go. It gets even better. So let's jump into this article here. So you had Canadian lawyer Philip Miller and California marketing executive Camille Moore, stars of popular The Art of the Brand podcast, talking about all of this. And they believe that the launch and concept of her brand as ever has been one of the worst they have ever seen. And so here, Philip Miller, the Canadian lawyer, says, "I love shitting on people who suck. Meghan Markle sucks as far as I'm concerned. It is run, the brand, by a confederacy of dunces working on this platform that is just maximizing the value from her fame that came from Suits and being part of the royal family. And they're just milking that for everything they can." Essentially, a bit of conspiracy theory, whatever, confirming what we all believe, that Megxie is in violation of the Sandringham Agreement, when apparently the Sandringham Agreement turns around and says, you are not allowed to monetize your titles. What do you think Megxie's doing with her brand? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Anywho, let's get back to the top branding gurus, because this is like the biggest brutal takedown I have ever seen. So, who are Philip Miller, the Canadian lawyer, and marketing executive Camille Moore? Well, they actually don't only talk the talk, but they've walked the walk as well. Their CV shows that they've advised big businesses, including Mercedes-Benz, L'Oreal, Olaplex, Dior, Van Cleef, and Air Canada. And they say that Megxie's business has been an ultimate royal disaster. Now, Philip Miller believes that the brand lacks authenticity because he claims that Megxie is pretending to be a domestic goddess, and people just don't believe it. But he adds that the people who have rushed to buy her stuff shows how gullible a lot of consumers are. He said she's not substantial. I'm agitated by her so much because it's a deliberate misrepresentation of what she is, because she thinks she can pretend to be that while actually being this and sucker people into buying her stuff. And every step of the way she's failing because it's not legitimate, it's not intelligent, and it's not well executed. Yeah. And the sellouts really aren't legitimate either. A lot of people are getting that impression. Why? Because ultimately, people are suspecting, as I'm hiccuping, apologies, guys. People are suspecting that Megxie's only putting up like 10 jars of spread and 10 bottles of wine and this, that, and the other to manufacture a sellout, to fake a sellout, to try and manufacture this thing, this fantasy, this illusion that her brand is more sought after by consumers than it really is. Yeah. It's definitely not legitimate. It's definitely not intelligent, and it's definitely not well executed, because her last 2 drops, minus the wine, she oversold and had to send back refunds. And even the refunds, the process of that, you only have to speak to me good friend Michelle over on Royal Daily Tea. She experienced it firsthand. The refunds was an absolute hell to get through as well. Yeah, Megs is really, really quick on taking your money. Not so quick on sending it back to you. I wonder why. Anywho, he then goes on to say there was nothing about her brand that was good from the start to a distinguishing eye. She was a fraud, what I can see from the beginning, who was just using opportunities to advance herself. Her brand wasn't one built on substance. It was based on using people. They're not executing anything well on any show, on anything, but it shows how gullible a lot of consumers are. And he said that investors, including Netflix, appear to have failed to ask serious questions of Megsy before the launch. And in my live stream last week on Friday, if you missed it, please do watch it, because I gave you a little bit of an exclusive. It was my opinion, conspiracy theory, or whatever, as to why Netflix seemingly is backing a dead horse, because time and time again, any project involving Megsy and Hazard is failing. They're not getting their money back that way, right? So how else could Netflix actually get their money back from the failures from Hazard and Megsy? Well, I theorized that Netflix is using Hazard and Megsy as a tax break. They're offsetting their losses against tax to reduce their tax bill and try and get their money back that way from what they put into Hazard and Megsy in the first place. Now, if you want to know more information about that, then do go ahead and rewatch my live stream from last week on Friday on that one. I provide information, I provide details, up to you whether you agree with me or not, but I think it's an interesting theory nonetheless. Anywho, let's get back to this article. Because he says, people who consider themselves smart because nobody ever questions them are running this business and telling her to use a playbook that works for products where scarcity matters. Confectionery scarcity doesn't matter. Adding there's an egocentric approach to it, that if you achieve some level of celebrity, you think you can build a brand. But that's the start of your brand. You can make short-term money from it, but it's not a long-term strategy. No, it's not. And I'll be very, very surprised if in a year or two, her brand still exists. I'll be very, very surprised. Once her contract with Netflix ends, that's the beginning of the end for that brand, as far as I'm concerned. Now, he also believes that Megsy has failed to see what she really is, which is a disruptor rather than a homemaker. Saying, quote, her brand should be, I'm a disruptor. I go into TV, I make noise. I go into the royal family, I make noise. She should brand herself as a rebel, but she's not consistent with what she is. She should be a disruptor and sell products that are not that expensive and that represent disruption, but that audience is not spending a lot of money. Now, on the other side, you then have Ms. Moore turning around and saying that Megsy is responsible for really probably having the worst brand execution to date. She had zero ownership in this business. It's effectively like she's just trying to label her brand. And this is the thing, right? Yeah, she has the worst brand execution to date. Time and time again, she's been knocked back by the Trademark Office. She couldn't even trademark her original brand of American Riviera, whatever, because Trademark Office turned around and said, oi, dumbass, you can't trademark a freaking geographical location. Try again, stupid. And then she chooses as ever, and then, oh my goodness, cherry on top of a freaking sundae, she can't trademark as ever the way that she wants to, right? Because there's another company out there called As Ever, based in China, that's manufacturing clothing for top brands such as H&M. So Megsy had designs to use As Ever to sell, fashion, this, that, and the other. She can't even do that. She can't even do that. Worst brand execution today. I totally agree with her here. She then adds, I feel like she's doing such a brutal or good job, depending on how you're looking at it. Getting this like free PR and then absolutely shitting the bed. Yeah. But she's shitting the bed because her whole planning and build up to the brand and execution of the brand is all shit to begin with. Anywho, she's screwed. No matter what she does, she's going to fail. Because again, Megzy has a likability, trustability, and relatability issue. If she ain't liked, trusted, and relatable, the people are not going to like, trust, and relate to what she's trying to sell us in the first place. She is screwed no matter what she does. And yes, as Ms. Miller turns round and says that she absolutely shits the bed, no matter what she tries to attempt, yeah. I like Philip Miller when he then turns around, just as, you know, a little bit of a yin-yang situation, and saying, yeah, I love shitting on people who suck, and Megzy is one of those people that suck big time. Oh my goodness. With that being said, guys, if you had a laugh and enjoyed this video, and I bet you guys did, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, then make sure you're following me at Stef Alter Nerd. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you think Megzy sucks big time? Do you agree with these branding gurus' brutal takedown of Megzy? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.